Mercedes Leggett. I'm coming to you from the Peach Gallery for Peach TV. Our guest at the moment is Milenna Saraiva. She is our artist in resident for the month of July. She's come to us from São Paulo, Brazil. Welcome, Milenna.
Thank you.
Behind us here, just to get straight to the point, is how we kind of did this show for her, A Tropical Empires. She brought 13 pieces or 12 pieces with you?
13 pieces.
13 pieces with her, and then this is the 14th. And so what our kind of idea was to have her paint in the room, and it's come out quite beautifully.
Thank you.
So welcome to Canada. Welcome to the Peach Gallery, and welcome to Peach TV.
It's great to be here.
Any first impressions of Canada?
Well, it's very beautiful and clean, and like everything I expected to be.
By the way, I'm going to bring her back next time in February, and then we're going to ask her the same exact question.
Yeah, I don't know the winter situation, but I don't think I would do well
So
here.
just in terms of politically in the world, you literally just came right out of the protest in Brazil.
Exactly. I was part of it. I participated in the protests.
What are they protesting against?
We're protesting against corruption. And well, it started with the raise of public transportation in the whole country, and that just started like a whole wave of protests about everything that is wrong in Brazil. There are many things, but it's everything that guys.
Now every Brazilian working person pays tax to Brazil.
We pay a lot of taxes.
So basically, you're not getting your return in the
We're not getting anything from the government. Health system, education, public transportation, security. We're robbed constantly. We're robbed by thieves on the streets, and we're robbed by the government, because we get nothing. We just pay, and everything. All the money we pay goes to their pockets. That's
so just as a side note for any Canadians that are watching that, if you've ever taken your education, your garbage pickup, your healthcare system for granted, here's a first-hand notion of what's going on in the world of as crazy as every single government is, ours is not really that bad.
It's very nice. Like for me, like I come here and I'm like, wow, everything works. The streets are clean, and there are no favelas, and there's like justice. You don't feel like you're going to be robbed on the corner of the street. So it's been 20 years since nobody has said anything about the way things are going in Brazil, because we're just like a happy people. I don't know. But finally, the people woke up. It's like they're saying, because the giant has woken up, and now we're protesting. We're on the streets in every major city in Brazil. And, we're demanding like a big change.
And some answers as to what's going on.
Yeah, we want everything to be the way it should be.
Now, for anybody who's not, familiar with Brazil outside of insanely beautiful women and crazy talented soccer players, Brazil was first native, inhabited by the Amazon natives, and then the Portuguese came and took over the country. So what would you say is the main aspect from that?
Well, it's okay. So this whole art show that I put on for the Peach Gallery is called A Tropical Empire. And when I moved back from Los Angeles, after being in Los Angeles for 14 years, I moved back to Brazil, and I started questioning, why is Brazil the way it is today? And I started like studying the history of our country to see what's the difference between Brazil and like Canada, for example, So I went all the way back, and going back, I started at the very beginning, where the Portuguese came to Brazil to colonize, our country. And instead of being just a colony, we were an exploration colony. We were just there to...
so it was a fluke that they found it.
Yeah, they found Brazil by accident, and the Portuguese came and started to get all the wood and the gold and stuff. So it started there. The whole thing started there. So that's why I painted this. I wanted to start from the beginning, and I'll probably continue painting about this. And just
there's a lot of history that's happening right now against this very moment.
Right. So I started painting this collection before this whole thing started happening. So
So moving away from the theme of the art, because we are a gallery here, let's go into your technique. So I mean, everything that you worked on at home, I didn't see the process, but the result of it is really beautiful.
Thank
This
you.
I've been watching from the very beginning. Now, how we started here was Mimi walked in and it was a plain white wall. No canvas, no size, nothing. She got together with Vincenzo, the gallery owner, and they decided what sort of shape they wanted it to take part. Now, none of us knew exactly where she was going with this. The canvas shows up and she starts doing it by layers of color. And she had nothing beside her in terms of a sketch, in terms of a color correlation, anything. And then literally 3 days later, this is what we have. So kind of take us as if an art history, an art lesson, where that comes from. Do you know what you're coming in with? Do you know what colors you want to use? What is predetermined? And then what is completely impulse in the moment inspiration?
I came in here knowing that I was going to paint something for this wall, but I didn't know like what was the size. I didn't know what was the height of it. We decided with Vince, we decided on the size of the canvas, and I just kind of, because I'm in this like mood of this collection, meaning I've already been working on this for many months before.
The theme of it.
Yeah, the theme and like the colors and the imagery, all this is in my mind already. So it will automatically come out sort of like in the same way that all the other paintings are painted here.
So step one, blank wall. Step two, size of the canvas.
Yeah.
Step three.
I just wanted to make sure that this piece would be almost like a combination of everything that I've done.
Okay.
It would be like the piece that puts it all together. So all the elements, all the colors,
The connecting
all
vibration.
the techniques. Yeah.
Now, would you say in artistic worlds, is it abstract? Is it realism? What is that exactly? Because it's oil on canvas.
Yeah.
But then you have, I don't know if you can capture this, but the middle part is all canvas, and then below and on top are just the wall. So it's a really blended piece of, is it mixed medium, would you say? Or?
It's in terms of material, it's mixed media. I'm using acrylics and also oil paints on canvas and on gesso, that is the wall. I didn't have any plan for it. I just wanted to like feel the space. And just kind of go with my feel. That's how I always, like I never plan anything because...
Were you anxious because there was a time constraint? Did you know you could get this done in a certain amount of time?
I was a little anxious about the few days that I had, but I was not like worried about it. I knew that things would just kind of like come through whenever I started painting. So it always happens like that. So I just kind of went with my instincts and just kind of let the work flow, and it did.
Well,
Thankfully,
very beautiful.
sometimes it doesn't, but it did.
It's beautiful. It's psychedelic.
Thank you.
It's
Thank
moving.
you.
It's a sunset. It's
Yeah.
an autumn breeze. It's Egyptian. It's beginning of time. It's end of time. It's almost continuum.
Yeah.
I'm really pleased with that. Let's go on to what you're doing tomorrow. It's something
Okay.
that hasn't been done yet, but here at the Peach Gallery, we are fortunate enough in a real estate perspective, business-wise, to own the entire building. They do. And there's a new movement kind of happening in the last 20 years. It's been more so done illegally, graffiti art, whenever a street artist is able to find any sort of a blank wall, they're using that to make their statement, make themselves heard. It's now becoming slightly more accepting in the world, but
Well, a lot
not
more.
but not fully yet.
Not fully, but a lot more.
But
yeah.
where Milenna got really accepted was they loved her work so much that when she proposed doing a mural outside, they jumped on the chance. The building is now building scaffolding for her tomorrow. So let's kind of go through the fact that knowing you as an artist, because I've been following your body of work for the last 10 years, it's pretty consistently been paintings,
Yeah.
a little photography here and then.
Yeah.
But in the last year or so, you've been traveling the world and really making your statement in street art. So how did you get from in the gallery on a canvas to the wall?
This street art movement is our movement. It is the movement of our generation, the street art. It started in the 80s, in New York, and it now it's displayed in galleries and museums all over the world. It's considered high art today. For me, it was just a progression of what I was doing. I have a lot of friends who are artists and who are doing that. And I think I got into it because of a friend of mine who was like asking me to help her put her art up on the walls. And she's like, hey, why don't you just put something, just grab something that you have and just put it up with me. And I'm like, okay. And that's how I started a few years ago. So I think the first place I did it was in LA. And then I went to see the Venice Biennale, and I did some street art there.
In Italy, not Venice,
Yeah.
California?
Yeah, in Italy. And then I did some in Rio, in a few places in São Paulo, in a few places. Now I'm really excited to be doing it here.
Leaving your mark here in Canada.
Yeah, but not having to do it like illegally and like having to be like...
Having the blessing of the business
Yeah, having the
owner.
blessing to be allowed to do that, having the support to do that with all the materials and things that I need to do to make a beautiful piece on the wall.
So here we are. We have a beautiful young woman, Brazilian artist, taking her stuff from inside the room, taking it outside. And what's interesting about that is because everything in the room has a value. Now, how do you really put a value to an art that's on a wall? We can't sell that to anybody. We can't give it away. Whoever they sell the building to next can paint right over it. So that's truly an artistic point of view because that's 100% there for expression. Mm-hmm. You're not doing that to expect any monetarily relief.
No, I think the street art started as just a way of expression without thinking about money at all.
And then you have things, for instance, a couple of years ago, we were in LA and the Museum of Modern Art in downtown Los Angeles had an entire exhibition for Bansky, Retina, cartoon. I mean, really giving these urban artists a chance to express themselves and exhibit themselves on a worldwide,
a high art scale.
Level. Yeah. I was fortunate enough to pick up some Retina photography and some Esteban photography, and that's just the way it's going. So would you say, Milenna, here at the Peach Gallery, we're totally supporting where art is going, where art came from? Mm-hmm. We're giving you an inside gallery. We're giving you an outside gallery.
Yeah, it's amazing. I feel very blessed, and I'm very excited to be here, to be showing my work here. I love the space, and the whole team here is very professional and supportive. I think that's very important for us artists.
Well, on behalf of the Peach Gallery, we're really honored that you chose us to do your Canadian debut, and we're really honored to be able to be presenting your street art and your mural and the whole new wave of movement of art, because that's what we believe in here. Thank you for being our artistic guest. Thank you for being our guest on our television show. And we've got more coming up for you. Mercedes Leggett for Peach TV with our guest, Milenna Saraiva.
Thank you.
Have a great day.